All right. Hi, guys. How's everyone doing? Aren't you guys ready to go home yet? Almost. All right, let me just wander my way around here. What is it, Jack?
Are we able to talk about like my business?
What?
Are we able to talk about my thing?
Yes, in a moment. We can certainly let you talk about your thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're very keen to do it, so.
Let's be honest, he's kind of why everyone's here anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, nobody's here to hear me or talk about anything, so. I have no idea if this is actually centered right or not. I'm doing something unusual. I actually have enough bandwidth these days that I can do, I can actually live stream this to my Twitch stream, which I'm doing at the moment. So I have no idea if anyone's ever going to watch it, but
Are you sure about that?
I don't know, we'll see.
Because I'm looking through right now and you are not live.
Okay, well, that would be, it's supposed to be connecting. It says it's live, but just like everything else technologically related in my life. Okay, well, honestly, it doesn't really matter that much. It would be funny actually to tease people with the idea that it's going to be live and then have it sort of do the normal Twitch thing where it says it's live and then it never connects. That would be highly appropriate for my work, I think. So.
Oh,
Okay.
here we go.
Okay, is it sort of working? I'm assuming it's one frame every 5 or 10
No,
seconds.
it's just about 15 seconds behind.
Okay, that's fine. All right, well, welcome to the Megatokyo panel here at Youmacon 2019. What year is it? I don't even know, that's pretty scary. Last sort of panel, are there panels after this actually?
You're closing the room.
I'm closing the room, so this is literally the last panel of the convention in this room, so thank you, that's cool. So thank you for coming, because at this point, everybody with sense has either found their way home or found other things to do, but I appreciate it. Unless, of course, you realize you are now in the wrong room, so either one's good, so. And like I said, I am broadcasting this live just because I can, which, why not, so. Not that it'll result in anything, but I'm assuming that most of you are familiar with Megatokyo as a comic. So anyone who's never read it before? You guys. Okay, you guys are totally in the wrong room. You should get out while you still can. That works. But if you're insanely curious and you like pain and disappointment, this is probably the place to be. Of course I'm joking. Well, no, I'm not joking, actually. So, anyway, my name is Fred Gallagher. I started doing Megatokyo with my friend and partner Rodney Caston back in 2000, August of 2000, actually. And we're looking at almost 20 years, which is terrifying. At some point along the way, I started doing the comic on my own, mostly because Rodney was very interested in doing a gag-related comic with a lot of jokes, and I wanted to do story-related stuff. And it was a great balance at first, but then my story stuff started to overwhelm everything, and it was kind of difficult for it to be a gag comic anymore. So I ended up sort of taking over and just doing the story stuff, for which people still hate me. But that's fine. It's been many years now. So.
No, I thought, no, because they just thought the whole comic was a joke.
Well, they did. They still do. So. But it makes it fun to pick on. So, anyway, that's been my role on it. I'm the guilty party. I've been responsible for all things good and bad in it. Joining me at this panel today is Thomas Knapp, who I don't know why you decided to throw your creative energies at it, but in the comic there is a game that the characters play, the Endgames game, which it's funny, now you say Endgames, people think of Avengers, but you gotta remember, I've been doing this for 20 years, so Endgames for me was always this game that's in Megatokyo, which is a role-playing adventure game that Largo and Piero and Miho and potentially some others were playing. And what Thomas has done is written a series of novels that kind of cover the story of those characters in that fantasy world. So that's what, I don't know why you put so much energy into it, but they're actually pretty good.
Because you were the only person I was able to fool into thinking I actually had creative energies.
Yeah, you see why we work well together? And also joining me is my son, Jack Gallagher, who, let's see.
I basically run my own business alongside my dad's.
Okay, so he's
It's
trying
called
to,
Jack's Drawings. I basically sell drawings. I've been doing it since like 2015.
I have pictures of him 6 years ago if anyone wants to see them.
I don't know if it's 6 years ago.
He
It
steals
was.
our
That's
customers
about
and now
4
he
years
steals our
ago. If I
panels.
started in 2015.
Yeah, but he's been sort of accompanying me to these things, and it's been fun having my kid along, so. And, you know, anyone who's had kids sort of knows that it changes your life to a great degree. And somehow he just ended up tagging along with everything, but it's been fun, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, are any of you been reading Megatokyo in recent, like within the recent, because I know one of the things that's been around for a long time, people will pick up on it and read it and then drop off for a couple of months and then come back and binge read it. Has anybody been reading recently within like the past 4 or 5 months? So you're familiar? Okay, so just one person. So that's good. There's only one person I've been disappointing for the past 3 months. So that's good. And I would like to pass on my appreciation and thanks for the support and that I've had in the past 3 months, because we were dealing with a difficult, family-related health situation where my Jack's grandfather passed away at the beginning of the month, and we were taking care of him for about 2 months, which really precluded us being able to do much of anything else. So, and then of course right after that I got sick as a dog for a couple of weeks, and then it was Youmacon time. So at some point I do actually have the next comic mostly drawn. I just need a day or two to finish it up, and you actually find out what happens at the end of, when you hit a break and something falls apart on you, you kind of hope it happens between things. The worst time for it to happen is you do like a big story arc and you've got one more comic, and then that's when you get nailed and you aren't able to do it. So I hope people remember what was going on back a couple of months ago. So I appreciate the support and the understanding and whatnot, and hopefully things go a little smoother from here on out. So usually the way I run these things, they're just sort of a casual thing where I take questions, and I'm actually pretty good at talking to myself at this point. Over the years, I've gotten good at it. But does anybody have any questions that they want to start out with regarding Megatokyo or anything else? I'd be happy to answer them. I'm waiting for these two guys to start wandering out of the room at this point.
So are you more of a traditional comic, or, is it more of a traditional comic, is it a web comic, or?
Well, when I started doing Megatokyo, it was, it is a web comic, which is, the nicest thing about web comics in general is that before, years ago when I was a fan of comics, I was into the independent comics and things like that. I actually knew people who, the only way you could get a comic published was to actually have it printed yourself, which, as anyone who printed knows,